Welcome, everyone. We will begin the webinar on the 10 predictions for the collision industry in 2022. I'm Melissa Joles with RDA Impact. Frank Terlep, founder and CEO of Auto Techcelerators, is your presenter today. The presentation will take approximately 30 minutes. We are recording it and we'll post it on our YouTube channel. If you have questions during the webinar, you can type them in the chat box at the bottom right of your screen, and Frank will answer them at the end of the presentation. Now I'll turn it over to Frank.
Thanks, Melissa, and Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody's off to a good start of 2022, and hopefully you'll enjoy today's session on my 10 predictions for the collision industry in 2022. Again, my name is Frank Terlep. You can read the laundry list of stuff on the screen there. It only tells you one thing, that I'm old and I've been around the industry for an awful long time. But again, having spent so much time in the industry, when you look around the industry, you talk to a lot of people in the industry, you get a sort of feel for what certain things are going on and what could go on. And that's where I came up with my 10 predictions for 2022. And again, my company's Auto Techcelerators. Our focus is really simple. We want to help auto, collision, glass, truck, and insurers properly estimate, properly calibrate, and properly validate ADAS repairs and calibrations for one simple reason. We want to make sure that those ADAS equipped vehicles operate as designed after a repair or calibration. So that's what we do. So let's get started on my predictions. But before we do, remember, these are only that. They're only predictions. And as Mark Twain says, predictions are difficult, particularly when it involves the future. Now, what I am going to do though next year is I'm going to give myself a batting average at the end of the year, see how accurate I was in my 10 predictions. So number one prediction in my book is consolidations continue in all aspects of our industry: collision, refinish, insurance, software companies, equipment companies, et cetera, et cetera. But particularly in collision, where the high valuations today, it's very hard for many of these owners to say no. And also you've got single shops becoming multiple shop owners, where they have 2 or 3 or 5. And if you read a little article that was in Body Shop Business, I think it was a couple of days ago, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that. I mean, there's rapid consolidation going on that I've never seen before. I'm also predicting that you're going to see a big merger occur this year that'll create another, and I'm putting national in parentheses, another national MSO with more than 500 locations. I'm not talking about a certified collision group. I'm not talking about a repair network. I'm talking about an actual consolidator. And you're going to see a couple of them come together, and it will create another national MSO. I also believe one of the big 3 will be acquired or merged. Now, who are the big 3? It's Caliber, it's Gerber, and it's Service King. I believe one of those big 3 will be acquired or they will merge with somebody else. Another prediction is dealer collision groups are going to grow dramatically. There's a tremendous amount of consolidation going on in dealerships, and those dealerships that are consolidating also have collision repair facilities. So you're going to see some pretty large collision groups come into the marketplace as well. And again, more PVE consolidation for sure. And all of this consolidation is going to have major effects on insurers, paint companies, PVE distributors, equipment suppliers, associations, consultants, and 20 groups, and software companies, and all the above. But I want to show you a little snippet from Body Shop Business that was on the web just a couple of days ago. And if you look here, this is from David Roberts, by the way, and David, who's an M&A consultant. You can see all the consolidation that occurred in 2021. ProCare, 45 shops, Collision Works, 35, Signature, 20. You can read the list. Okay, so there's been a tremendous amount of consolidation going forward. And the other thing that's going on, and David talks about this, is you're seeing new MSOs like Collision Right, just added 19, Quality is joining. You're seeing Joe Hudson grew by 25%, Crash Champions and Classic. So consolidation is going to be a major theme throughout 2021, 2022. All right, so that's consolidation. Number two, ADAS and calibration services will be the fastest growing business segment in our industry. And why do I say that? Well, all the major consolidators have already acquired one or more regional ADAS service or calibration companies. Caliber bought ProTech, LKQ bought Elite Tech, Gerber bought Mobile Auto Solutions out of the Midwest. Crash Champions has acquired a company called ATE. And so they have already figured out that this is going to be a huge business. And what you're also going to see is you're going to see local and regional MSOs. We have some of those customers in our business today. They're launching ADAS calibration divisions because they want to support their own locations. As everybody on this call knows or should know, the industry is struggling to find technicians. I'm talking about body techs, okay, frame technicians. But think about how difficult it's going to be to find electronic technicians. So this business, because of the growing number of ADAS systems on vehicles, this is going to grow dramatically. And I believe one of the companies that's well positioned to benefit from this trend is LKQ Elite Tech. I believe they're the largest mobile provider in the market today. But again, smaller regional companies are going to merge and they're going to grow. And I said this to some of the PBE companies in a previous presentation. I believe this opportunity could be a great opportunity for PBE businesses. The PBE businesses already service the shops. They already know the shop's credit. The shops already trust them. This could be a great opportunity for some PBE businesses that want to think outside of the box to literally get into this business and offer these services to their customers. And that is another thing we do is we offer that type of consulting to businesses that want to launch ADAS calibration service business. So that's number two, ADAS calibration service business being the fastest growing business segment. Prediction number three, the collision center closures or sales will increase, i.e. tied to consolidation. But I think you're going to see more closures as well because the cost of opening, operating, and successfully running a collision center is much more expensive than it used to be. And plus the training, the equipment, the certification cost, the employees, et cetera, and you've got this set of owners that are a certain age that they're just done. So I think this is going to be you're going to see between 2,000 and 4,000 collision centers close or sell, but there'll be some new startups. I just met with a new startup last week when I was at CIC. So I think you're going to see some ebb and flows there. But again, as businesses close, it negatively affects other aspects of the industry. So again, prediction number three, collision centers closures will increase. What's number four? Well, this is I think the number one issue is the technician shortage is going to get worse before it gets better. I mean, it's very difficult finding good technicians today. We all know that. The industry all knows that. The industry's trying multiple things to offset that. But today, because of the lack of technicians, you've got major organizations that feel that they're missing out on revenues because they can't fix the cars. And so, and plus, properly fixing properly repairing the vehicles is a challenge too. And Melissa and I were just talking before the session started, length of rental is dramatically increased over the last year. And so this is going to drive increased cycle time. It's going to drive more consolidation. It's going to drive up technician compensation. And you start to look at all these things, and that's going to be another contributor to shops closing their doors. But the good news is, the problem is it's not going to happen overnight. All of this shortage is driving the industry to look at new training and mentorship models. There's been some pretty good short-term solutions, but this is a big challenge for our industry. And plus, you've got all the new EVs coming in. It's going to be a big challenge. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. Prediction number 4. Prediction number 5, and again, this should be no surprise. Insurance-driven technologies are going to drive big changes in the collision centers. Image-based estimating, video-based approvals, artificial intelligence, telematics, big data, all of this technology that many shops still push back on, or many people are pushing back on. In my opinion, this is going to continue to cause friction with those type of shops that want to push back on this, that feel that, image-based estimating shouldn't be used. I mean, all of the stuff I mentioned, image-based estimating, video-based approvals, artificial intelligence, telematics, and big data is not going away. As a matter of fact, the insurance companies look at those 5 things as big drivers of their business to make them more profitable, to deliver better customer service, as well as to drop their loss adjustment expense. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, my forecast, is the largest organizations, the consolidators, the MSOs, what I'll call the early adopters, they're going to embrace these technologies and they're going to figure out how it fits into their business model, and they're going to win. And those who choose to push back are going to be losers. And so what I'm telling shops today is, look, you gotta understand the technology, and whether you like it or not, embrace it and find a way to implement it into your business. So again, this is an easy prediction that the technologies are going to drive collision change. Number 6, again, pretty easy prediction. OEM certifications are going to become much more important than they are today. OEMs want more revenue out of this segment. They've given away billions of dollars over the years in parts to aftermarket parts. But the technology on the vehicles is becoming so complex that they need to make sure that the repairers who are repairing their vehicles get it right. And so certifications are going to be critical for them to feel comfortable about where their vehicles are getting repaired. Parts restrictions are going to increase due to OEM certification requirements. Again, another predictions. And you're going to see the OEMs are going to start marketing their certified networks more and more. Again, this has been talked about now over the last year. It's difficult for a shop that is on a DRP program to also be OE certified, because in some cases there's the goals of the programs are different. The requirements of the programs are different. And so it's a challenge. It's walking a very fine, tight line to try to be an OEM certified repair facility and a DRP. I think you're going to see more and more repairers move away from DRPs and move towards OE certification. So again, prediction number 6, OEM certifications are going to become much more important. Number 7, parts pricing and availability are going to equate to higher prices, longer cycle time. The market's already seeing this, so this again is a pretty obvious scenario. We've got the chip shortage scenario. We've got supply chain issues. The OEs are moving to their EV focus. So again, a lot of their efforts are moving towards EVs and EV parts and solutions. And all of this means that not only will the shops be affected, but the aftermarket suppliers and the recycled part suppliers are all going to be affected. Higher prices, longer cycle time. And it's my prediction sometime in 2022, the dollar amount on an estimate related to parts is going to cross the 50% threshold on an RO. So again, number 7, parts pricing and availability is going to equate to higher prices and longer cycle times. Number 8. Build data, AI, AR, VR, smartphones, and more are going to improve repair procedure research. So there's a lot of work going on in the industry. We're one of the companies doing the work. There's several other companies doing it as well that are working on vehicle build data, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, smartphones, and other technologies to improve repair procedure research. I'd recommend going to the CIC website. There was a presentation done by the estimating committee last week on the amount of time it takes to perform research on today's vehicles, and it's tremendous. It's a tremendous amount of time for the repairers to perform proper research. And again, 50% of shops aren't performing proper research or more. But you're going to see a lot of work done in this area. Like I said, we're doing some of this work, and it's going to dramatically reduce the amount of time it takes a shop to research procedures. I can tell you, in our scenario, we reduced the amount of time by almost 70% related to ADAS and calibration information. It's going to improve the repair process. Hopefully, it will help the insurers and the repairers get on the same page. If this technologies that we're working on as an industry are made available to everybody at the same time, there won't be any excuses. Well, it takes too much time for me to access it and research the vehicle. And again, another one of the challenges that we have in the repair industry today is a vast majority of required calibrations are not being identified. And again, that's one of the things we're working on, is to improve that, to identify that ADAS technology up front and the required calibrations up front, so they don't get missed, and so the vehicle gets repaired and calibrated correctly. And whether we like it or not, whether the insurers like it or not, whether the shops like it or not, the shops will like it. This is going to increase the fees that the insurers and shops pay for some of the solutions that they're paying for today. So that's number 8. Number 9, if you haven't been paying attention to OEC, they've been pretty acquisitive lately. Nugent IT last year, they bought the Assured Performance at the end of the year. They acquired Verifax at the end of the year. They just announced an acquisition of OPS early this year. So OEC is no longer just a parts company, as you may think. And you're going to see that, in my opinion, you're going to see this year they're going to assimilate a lot of these acquisitions to increase revenues into their company, eliminate duplicate costs, expenses, and management personnel. And you can expect them to acquire additional companies to fill out their portfolio in one way, shape, or another. But this company is going to be a major influencer, and that's going to change a lot of things the way the OEM certification process and validation and OEM related technologies come to the marketplace. They're going to be a big player. Last but not least, number 10 is, again, this is a prediction. I have no inside information. Today, we now have 5 remote diagnostic providers in the marketplace. You got AirPro, you got Aztec, you got Bosch, you got Opus, you have Elite Tech. By the way, I just read today that Aztec is suing Elite Tech. Different conversation. But in my world, I look and say, there's 5, really? You know, it's almost to the fact that there's probably 1 or 2 too many here. So it'll be interesting to see which ones do come together, but it's my prediction that 1 or more of these will merge, or one or more of these will be acquired by another company. So there you have it. So those are my top 10. So again, let's review these top 10 again. Number 1, consolidation continues. Number 2, ADAS calibration services will be the fastest growing business segment in the industry. Number 3, collision center closures and sales will increase. The tech shortage will get worse before it gets better. Insurance-driven technologies are going to drive major collision center changes. OEM certifications are going to become more important than ever. Parts pricing and availability are going to lead to higher prices and longer cycle time. I think we all would agree there. I think you're going to see a major improvement on how repair procedures are presented to the industry this year. OEC is going to make a major move, and last but not least, I think you're going to see one or more of the remote diagnostic providers merge or get acquired. All right, Melissa, there we have it. I did it actually in less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to open it up if there's any questions from the attendees on what I just went through.
Yeah, if anybody has questions, go ahead and type them in. Or you can raise your hand and I can unmute you. I will send everyone on this presentation today a copy of Frank's contact information so you can reach out to him directly. And I'll also send a copy of this link so you can watch it again. It's great information, and it'll be interesting to see what comes.
What we'll have to do, Melissa, is next year,
yeah,
we get to do how
report card on how you did.
was, right?
Yep. So I don't see any questions. All right, you guys, you can follow Frank directly. Frank was excellent. Thanks so much. And everybody, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can get your past webinars there. And we appreciate your comments and your thumbs up if you like them. So take care, and we'll be in touch with future training opportunities. Thanks, Frank.
Awesome, Melissa. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.